are live. I'll do that nice and quick. Let's stream. The vibes are wild immediately. My bad. I am Crunk Chocolate, and I'm here with the show bros. Tom Bomb, Sharpie Charlie. How's it going?
I'm okay. Tom, can I start with a question?
What's going on, Charlie?
Does it even feel good anymore to do this much winning? Like, is it still special? Or like it's your fifth time in like 7 years? Like, do you care? Like,
So I'm gonna take you back to
Oh, story time.
12-year-old time, Tom, where the Chiefs were 13-3, and the kicker couldn't make a kick to save his life, and we lost to Jim Harbaugh. That heartbreak was so devastating to me because that game was so fucking cold. This to me, this is just making up to 12-year-old Tom. Like 42-year-old Tom is just channeling that energy to 12-year-old Tom and making that hurt go away. So yes, it still feels good. Yes, it is still special.
I mean, but
Tom
it,
wins
it,
more
it
than
hurts.
any fan I know.
I
He
know
wins
it
so much.
hurts through so many Super Bowls though, like that. You would think one
Do
Super
you
Bowl
do you
would cover it.
do you, no, no. Like
Mm, mm.
all of the
Not
games
one,
that we had
not
to
two,
watch,
not three.
we had to watch John Elway break our hearts. Like that is like replacing this pain. And that's why this all of this feels good. It still feels good.
All right.
That's
Well, go Eagles. Go Birds. Go Birds.
I hover back and forth. I'm just like, I want to see greatness with three in a row because it is what it is. But also like Saquon Barkley, basically joining the Eagles, that has to work because that's why man's left. The Giants basically said we don't think you're worth it, and he's been killing it. That is, it's the tale of like almost like two perfect football stories, and it's just which one will be stronger.
Somebody's got to lose. I just don't think. I think we deserve better in the age of 2025, in the country of the United States of America. I know which owners I'm supporting. I know which owners I'm supporting. That's all I'm
That's
saying.
fair.
That's all I'm
That's
saying.
fair. That's real. That's real. That's real. That's real. And also an opinion you can have. I want to get before we get this, because I want to acknowledge, but also be like, you don't have to feel that way as well. Like I'm stuck in between both. It's like, Tom, I want you to be happy, but also like that
I mean,
team,
listen, it is what it is.
the calls they
It,
get, they do get some mischievous calls, and I'm gonna tell you specifically what, like, because I'm actually all for like that stuff. Like if the refs are dumb enough to do it and blah blah blah, blah, like yeah, it sucks. But there was one where he like purposefully like paused in bounds to get hit out of bounds and drew like a rough in the court. And when he starts like, let the refs be idiots. Don't you try to trick the game. I know he already does that like fake dive run thing. Like that already makes me feel away. Like when you really start trying to trickerate the system when the system is already rigged, like not necessarily saying for you because betting odds and things like that, it just gets a little frustrating. It just gets a little frustrating.
I'm just a hater because I've never seen the Broncos beat Patrick Mahomes, and
See,
I probably
oh,
won't
no, no,
ever
that's
in the
not
history of
true.
my life.
That's not true. That's not true. It's not true because it happened last year.
When we beat y'all,
Yes, with Russell
was he
Wilson.
starting?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, the one time. That's when I wasn't watching because we sucked. Sorry, you're right. Good point. Good point. So I'm sorry. We're
you
we're
should have
one
said
and one and
2 times. You should have said 2 times.
1-9, 1-8.
Yeah, you
Sorry,
should have
I'm
said.
so sorry, Tom.
Oh, I just want to
Yeah,
see him win twice against,
yeah.
and then you would have had him.
He's won more Super Bowls than we've beat him in the regular season, and we play him
That
twice a year. That's all I'm saying.
that's real.
Love it here. Love
That's
it here.
real. That's real.
Happy Black History Month, everybody.
Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
And speaking of,
Good
I
segue.
mean, we don't need to stay on this for too long because obviously we got to bring the guest in and more. We'll
Lighthearted issue.
But yes, thank you. Bunny Shaw was a victim of racist abuse. What specifics we don't necessarily know, but it does seem to be that it was online somehow, some way. Manchester City came out with a statement that was fine, but we knew the game was going to happen, and we wanted to hear Gareth, vocal support. Let everybody know that this type of behavior, it's not okay. We don't like that stuff. This is how he responds when he was asked about it.
About Khadija Shaw. First of all, how is she? It's hard to say. We obviously left yesterday and weren't able to bring her with us on the journey. So yeah, I think it's really difficult for me to analyse, because who knows what goes on in that world, and when you're affected by things like that, it's really, really difficult. So not really had time to have a good conversation with her about it, but she knows, and she needs to know that the whole team and the whole club are behind her in this. To ask you about Khadija Shaw first.
Yes. So, Tom Baum and we've kind of chatted. If anyone has seen our Blue Sky, you've seen how I have felt about it. And I've now watched it 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And honestly, I don't feel any better about it. And it's just like from the simplest, I just don't feel better about the situation hearing from him now. He might as well have just been like, it's being handled. We'll talk about it later. But I don't know. It was a lot of word salad to me, at a minimum.
I think that the most important thing that I can say is this. Khadija Bunny Shaw, as a supporter of Manchester City Women's Football Club, I'm sorry that you have gone through this, be it through online, by our supporters, by supporters of other clubs. No one deserves that. I'm very sorry. I feel for you deeply. That's the most important thing that I can say. Whatever it was that Gareth Taylor said was indicative of a manager who's not necessarily in on the pulse of his team. And I think that you've seen that with various player exits, and especially the first year that he was in charge, 4 players that played on the England women's national team, leaving the club that summer. I think it speaks a lot to how much he's oblivious to. And I understand that you're trying to win a championship as a coach, but part of being a coach is being a teacher and being willing to listen to what your players are going through. And it doesn't sound like he has done a very good job of that.
So, based on the question asked, I'm actually going to take a slightly different opinion. I believe he was asked how is Khadija doing, or how is Bunny Shaw? Was that the question?
Yeah.
Okay. So the question, if it would have asked how do you feel about the racism or the sexism or misogyny, I think I would expect a more powerful answer. But honestly, he doesn't know how Bunny Shaw's feeling. And as a white man, he's never gone through that. He would never go through that. And when he talks about, I know for me, when there have been racist things that happen in this country or crazy, sad things, I think about 2020 a lot, right? The last thing I wanted was a white person reaching out to me and going, Charlie, how are you feeling? What's going on? What's going on? And so in that regard, especially because they were traveling, right? They were headed to London, all that stuff. I'm not saying he gave the best answer, but I also think he answered the question that was asked. Now, do I think there should have been another statement he made from a press conference, or follows up? I think the club statement was solid. It did what it's supposed to do. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was a no-win situation, in my opinion, unless you were just to be hey, I'm going to be straight out and say, I'm making a statement. Bunny shouldn't have did that, which is true. Bunny shouldn't have gone through that. The club made a statement, but I'm just want to echo that it is terrible. It's anyone who said that, you are the scum of the earth. That he could have come out harder.
Not scum of the earth, but basically that. You nailed it. That's all. We're not even saying a long thing. Just be we just wanted to know that we're with her. What she has to experience is not okay in the game. but like for him to like refer to it as it and what she's going to, like, and that's my thing with Gareth and a lot of things that he does. He talks about the situation, and then that's just what he always like. You get what he's talking about, but then there's all of this subtext that we get and just like nibble off of, and I don't like that, especially when we have. I mean, Pep does it, but at least we know where he's going and what he means, and you feel a little bit better at it. And I know that's a tough comparison to who it is, but same city, same passion. If that's what he's attempting to do, and yeah, I'm with you. I completely get it, because in that time I did have some people reaching out to me, and I dove the fuck out of them. So it like I get it, but that's all I wanted. I just wanted to feel a little more warmer about it, and like. Even the way that he said I needed her to know that the team and we are with her, like even that was just like, okay, Gareth.
Fair.
That's fair. Yes. All right. Oh man, I made some really good pork chili. I'm like very proud about it.
Ooh.
And it came out real nice and luscious. I used like cocoa chips like pieces in it to like in the beginning, and that's where I added like all of the chocolate, cinnamon. I'm like, you got to do a little like sweet with the sugar, and then the acid, the tomatoes, and all that other stuff. And after that, that's when you add the other flavorings and the spices. You do the spices last, and then you let it cook down a little bit, thick in. And I did a pork loin, and so I put that in a pressure cooker for like 40 minutes, and then I came out, it was breaking apart, and I just threw it in there, let it simmer in there for another half hour or so, and it was good.
So you're bringing me a bowl is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I mean, the next meetup, I have a plethora of things that I could be making for us. Like Tom Bomb, you cooked for us, and
Oh my God.
there I'm back. I was saying, Tom Bomb, you cooked for us in Chicago, so I got wherever we got going on this year. I got one day or night for some foods.
Perfect.
Oh man. Let's bring on our first guest. It's about to get more red in here, but it's not like Arsenal or Man United, so that's good.
It is good.
It is good. And he's also he's wearing red, but he's a blue. Like I know it's gonna be a little confusing.
There you
I
go.
know it's a little confusing because he's wearing a lot of red. What's up, brother? How's it going?
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Doing all right. Great to see you.
Yeah.
Great to see you, man. Great to see you.
Yeah. Well, not you, Sharpie, but we'll talk. We'll be back to friends after you stop talking crap on us. That's fine.
It's just hate, man. It's just hate. I hate you, but I hate you, and that's okay. That's all.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good.
We can get into the Chiefs though. Listen to you guys talk about the bunny situation. Just I don't know. I don't know what to think about Gareth. Like half the time he doesn't really seem to connect well with the players, and I just don't see how hard it is to issue like a 5-sentence statement of can't imagine how she's feeling, right? Because as a white person, you can't.
Yeah.
I'll talk more with her when I get home, answer the reporter's question, right? But then you to have any sort of like emotion or connection with how she probably is feeling, you have to address the root cause. You have to say it's unacceptable. It has to stop. I hope she knows we have her back. Like even the part where he's saying like the teammates support her, it's like it's passive. It wasn't him supporting her. It's like, oh, the team has her back. Like it's kind of embarrassing as a manager. I don't know how you play for a guy like that.
Because like just from an instance, that's when you need to be a leader. Like I get he answered the question to like yes, like if you were the PR person, nailed it. I think it nailed it. But you were not. You were the face. You were the leader. You were the person who they are supposed to like be able to come to in situations like this. And she also removed herself. He wanted to bring her, but she said, "No, I'm not feeling it." And then also like I feel a way about it coming out now when it was known yet. Anyway, we need to move on. We need to move on. I'm seeing the people leave. I apologize.
All good.
Oh my gosh. Super Bowl.
Yes.
How are you feeling about it? Let's hear your perspective on it.
It doesn't get old. I don't know. Like, game aside, it's just like the full like extra week where it's just anticipation. This has been at work. Honestly, I've been like really super busy this week, but at the same time, it has also been the longest week of my life. Like, it's weird to explain. Like, normally, if you're busy, it just kind of flies by, and you're like, oh wow, it's the weekend already. It's just never the case these weeks. So you've got all this anticipation build up. Like, everyone's texting each other about like, sending random stats that like point in our favor, or like you got your Worrywart friends who are sending you stats that point in the Eagles' favor and stuff. And it's just, it doesn't stop. And just ready for Sunday. Took Monday off, and it'll either be a great day or a terrible day. It'll probably be a little bit of both because I'm going to be hungover, but should be good.
Can I follow up with
Yeah,
a
like
Super
that.
Bowl question? Oh, wait, I'm sorry, Tom.
Oh no, go ahead, Charlie.
So from a football perspective, in the trenches,
Yeah, sure.
can the Chiefs stop the running attack of the Philadelphia Eagles? How do you do that?
No, stop. No. I mean, that's not the game. I don't think. Like, as long as you don't give Saquon like 2 or 3 big explosives, right? If he's pulling off like 7-yard runs and stuff, like, which are like really positive plays, but you can get some limitations there where it's like maybe you stuff him at the line or hit a 2 or 3 yarder. It becomes a game about, can then Jalen convert the third down, right? And that's where you can win the game. Like, you're not gonna just stop Saquon from getting his. McCaffrey, last year's Super Bowl, had like 88 yards rushing and another 50 receiving. So I mean, you're looking at a running back who put up 130 yards by himself. That didn't win him a game because you still had key plays where Brock had to make a play. And frankly, Brock played pretty well, but getting them, between the 20s, red zone wasn't good enough. And then had a key play in overtime on third down. Chris Jones gets there and it's game over. So I think it's more about slowing him down in situations and trying to get it to a third and like medium range. And then, can a blitz get home? Can you confuse Jalen at the line? And that's the game. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think. Oh, me? Steve Spagnuolo just does so much like interesting stuff, like that.
Yeah.
I think Kevin's right. Like, just confusing, like not just Jalen Hurts, but like also the offensive lines, like what protections they're supposed to be running, like against like the games that he likes to run. So I think that like Steve Spagnuolo is like the Chiefs' best assets in like on defense in the Super Bowl for the Chiefs.
Yeah. Jalen freezes a bit on good rushes. I think if you sack him a couple times, like if you put him behind the sticks, they're punting. They want to get to 3rd and 2, and they'll tush push twice if they have to. And that's they're gonna get that. Like, we're not gonna stop the tush push. So it's more about getting them into manageable downs and distances to where Jalen has to make a play. And if he makes it, hat tip. Enjoy your Super Bowl. Like that, I mean, it's fine. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be a really good game. I can't imagine it being more than a 6-point game, like with the last possession. So it'll really depend on like whether you're chasing the 6 or if you've got the 6 and are trying to run out the clock. That'll be the difference.
I will say, like, if I had to bet $100, I would bet it on Mahomes. I'm not stupid, right? Like, the man wins these matches.
Wait. Before we hopped on, you were talking about how it was like rigged and stuff, is what I remember.
No. I didn't say that. I never said that.
Me.
Okay.
Me.
Okay. So here's the thing. That the fun part about that I want to talk about is,
and I was saying rigged for betting odds, not necessarily for the best of Kansas City.
You're not like the worst of the worst online who think it's like legitimately like there's script and stuff.
And
right?
I'm honestly just talking shit. I don't really care.
But the people who believe that, the overwhelming majority of bets are on the Eagles. Like, if you truly believe that, why not make your money? Why not bet on the Chiefs? Like these people are literally believe it's rigged, and at the same time, don't cash in on it. Like, I mean, I know it's 2025 America, and we all see what's going on. But are we really that stupid? I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. But let's talk a little City. Some
Yeah.
new fresh blood in the squad. Hopefully going to add something because we need it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, this season obviously has been disappointing, but like you kind of see it coming. Honestly, like not going into the year, the second Rodgers ACL goes, I'm like, "Ugh, I don't see how we piece this together to like win a title, but I didn't think it would fall off this bad. But I mean, it's two windows where we just kind of like patted ourselves on the back and said, go again. You can do that once, you can't really do that the second time, and we're paying the price for it. So it's fine. It's more, I'm super excited for this next iteration because clearly, like, I mean, four players in January is not super normal for the Premier League anyway, but it's because we skipped the summer. So I think everyone crying their tears about oil money can continue to cry. I don't really care. But it's the young like nature of what we're doing. Like even the guy we haven't seen yet, Vitor Reis, like young kid, like we're in. I saw more rumors about Cambiaso from Juventus that it'll probably happen in the summer. So you've got your left or right back, whatever you want to play him at. Like you're probably two goalkeepers this summer. Like I maybe I don't know what's going on with Ederson. That's a weird situation, but you've definitely getting two midfielders. Honestly, in by 2026, there's Holland, Phil, and Rodri, maybe like on like from this core that's still around.
I would say Ruben, right? Like that spine will be there. Ruben, Rodri, and Holland.
Yeah,
Foden. No,
I mean,
anti Ruben.
no, I like Ruben. It's
Oh,
just there's always been
that's still a
kind of
captain. You
links
know,
and stuff,
he
and
is the Messiah. He is the city
yeah,
Messiah.
I like
So I've
Ruben.
heard.
I'm trying to think like anyone else. Like Stones is injured all the time. I love Ake injured all the time. You basically are pairing together 3 or 4 center backs to equal 2 center backs. Oh, Yasko will be around. But so
Yes.
so I mean, you're really looking at replacing what has been City for the last 5 years. That's fun. That's exciting. Like we don't know how it's going to turn out. Like all these other teams are spending money and they're good too. Chelsea's young. Liverpool obviously are clicking. Though I think they're going to have some outgoings that will make their challenge next year more difficult than what it has been this year. And then Arsenal, if they ever get their shit together from like a mentality standpoint, are clearly a top team. So it's just a fun time to be a fan and fighting for things. And I don't know, like all these fans online laughing at City like in a top 4 race as if they don't do this every year. We at least have 4 in the bag in a row to like laugh at them at. Like it's fun. Like I enjoy it. Like I'm honestly kind of enjoying probably the first half of the season. No, I think I'm really going to enjoy the second half of the season, knowing what my expectations are level set, and then the idea that it's like, wow, I'm seeing what's going to happen. I'm seeing the building blocks put in place, and I can start to see the other holes that we got to fix in the summer. And going into the Club World Cup of like that's going to be fun and exciting. You're going to probably add new pieces for that. Rodri's probably going to rush back. I hope we don't play him, but whatever. Let's see how that goes. And it's a fun time to be a City fan, frankly.
You don't think Daku will stay
Who?
amongst those? Daku?
Oh, he was being linked up for a loan too. Like he's been a weird one. I mean, I think I've seen almost more flashes from him than Savinho, but his lows are lower. And so like I think the consistency is always going to be a problem because Pep plays on trust. And if he'll trust you better if he at least knows your floor. And I think Doku's floor of tracking back, losing possession is actually pretty low when he's playing poorly. But his ceiling's so high, and it's kind of one of those players where if he ever like clicks in the style of City play, not necessarily that he's not going to turn it over because he's got balls and he's going to go for it. He's going to turn the ball over. But if he can figure out how to track back, contribute in the press out of possession, I think him and Savino have probably been part of our problem out of possession. The press hasn't been as good. And the fact that we have guys in the midfield who are older than all of us, that's something we got to figure out.
No, not quite.
What was it? The Gundo, Kova, Bernardo, midfield
God.
is a combined 94 years old or something like that?
Yes. And that was the midfield that went up against a very young midfield in Paris. And I remember breaking down the numbers on an episode.
Yes.
It was just like the average age was like 24.
Yeah.
Because you had a 20-year-old, a 22 or 23-year-old, and a 28-year-old with the old guy in Fabian Ruiz. I want to speak to what you said, Kevin. I love that the fact that our worst season, literally in a decade, is us still more than likely going to make Champions League because we're probably going to get 5 spots because of the coefficient in the Premier League. So, we're not Liverpool, who had the year where they went to Europa. We're not United, which would love Europa, right? They would go crazy if they went on a run. We're not Chelsea, who's done Conference League. We're not Spurs, which is Spurs. Wait.
We're not Arsenal, 8th and 8th. You guys want to talk about mentality and 5-1, 5-1. I texted him. I'm on my phone, so I can't look up the exact text, but my brother is a Gooner fan, and
so
he starts talking shit over the weekend. I was like, hey, big win, congrats, whatever. But I've seen this before. Overhype a game that in reality is not the game. You went from second to second. You are 6 points behind Liverpool with them having a game in hand. You aren't in touching distance. At this point in the year, Liverpool would have to be you to bottle it as bad as what you think they need to do to become the champion. And you've hyped this game up, and guess what's going to happen at midweek? You're going to lose to Newcastle. And he laughed in my face, and they held 2. And so I texted him. I copied and pasted that text and resent it to him midweek after the Newcastle game. Because that is there is a different stepping stone that I see for Liverpool where I hate their fans. I think they're nasty people online, all of that. But they have some level of understanding of the juggernaut that they were always up against, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think Arsenal, they get one over you and it's just, well, we're champs now. Well, is the title in the room with us? Because I don't see it. It's not happening.
My favorite part was realizing they're out of the FA Cup. I forgot that United beat them on penalties.
Yes.
Until I was wait, they won't win a trophy again. Champions League is anyone's game. I will say that is a fair competition.
Amazon Prime putting out the new documentary, Fuck All or Nothing.
They are everybody. They have a better chance of us in Champions League, right? They don't have a playoff. They're going to be in around the 16. I give them that. You have a better chance, and I don't think you're the best club in the world. So you're going to say, hey, we're going to get back to Champions League 3 years in a row, which you haven't done it forever. God bless you. Which is great if you had a different mentality. But us is 10 years in a row. I forgot the number. It's a crazy run of making Champions League. 2014 was the last time.
Yeah, that was the first time. Yeah. So
that's insane. That stability is crazy.
Yep. It really is just kind of showing how blessed we are, but also the mentality difference that it takes to really get over the hump. And I don't want to sound like I'm too dismissive, because I talk to my brother about Arsenal all the time. They have this season is progress, I think, with how far they're probably going to go in the Champions League, that they are competing again. But it's they hype themselves up that because of what we did last year, the automatic next step is there. There is no automatic next step. And I don't part of it is I don't think Kroenke has given them enough.
For sure.
Arteta spent a lot of money. Let's not act like we're crazy, but every time they name their first target for the last 5 windows, they're not getting the first target. They're probably not getting the second target, and then they sign the third, and but because the fan base is stupid, they repackage Havertz as the guy that they always wanted, when in reality he's not. Like Trossard becomes this great player in everyone's eyes when really he was their third choice signing as a winger. Like that is, they do this to themselves. So when I make fun of them, I enjoy it because you bring it on yourselves, guys. Are we doing the raccoon eyes for Trossard?
Yeah. I actually
Man,
like that tricky little dude. He's good.
that dude looks
I
like
don't mind him.
dude
He's
from
good.
Meet the Robinsons. Like, I've never seen the two of them in the same room before.
Oh, I love that.
So good.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, speaking of it, Madrid,
Yeah.
4 years in a row, we just consistently bump into them. We'll get you out of here with this. How do we handle, how does the first leg go? Actually, we won't have you back, I'm sure, by the time the two games happen. So
Yeah.
do we make it past Madrid?
No, I don't think so. But I don't even know what the 11's going to look like. I'm assuming Marmouche comes in. I don't know if they bring in any other signings into the roster for this
They can add
knockout
3 names.
stage.
They can add 3 names.
But I mean, does anybody besides Marmouche actually get minutes?
I mean,
I think Nico gets minutes. I
Nico.
believe like you need them. Like I think you need him in the midfield. Like you need a true 6-2 presence against Madrid.
Yeah.
I believe that I believe Kuzminov is going to make the roster. Right, he'll be a sub just as a defender. But
he's not going
if
to play.
everybody,
He's not going to play
if our
against
big
Madrid.
guy, he's not going to play. That's the goal, right? But if our people are healthy, in which everybody's back in training now, except obviously Rodri. I think like we're good on training. Like Bob's in, everybody's in. So we go again. Like this is the fun part. It's like, hey, let's take care of Leighton Orient, pick your number, and then let's fucking get ready for Madrid again. This is gonna be fun. Because they didn't want us, y'all. Like people are like, oh my God, we gotta play Madrid. Madrid's gotta play City. And like they don't want to do that. Carlos said it.
They're in the worst spot possible where it's like, well, everyone else is battering City. If they don't, they get tight if that first half is not going well and it's 0-0 at half or we're up a goal. Like all of a sudden that gets nasty. And I know their back line is really banged up. So
yeah, it is.
Listen, if I'm prognosticating or betting, I don't think we get by on a 2-leg like against them. I don't. But I don't know what to expect from the City side with Nico. Right? I agree with you, Sharpie. I think like he's gonna come in. Does it become? Can he be a metronome like Rodri on day one against Madrid at the Etihad, and then on the second leg at the Bernabeu? Like that's a tough ask, and that's why I would say I would lean towards we don't get through. But if he can even become like, man, we're not having to play like a 60-year-old double pivot, then all of a sudden the scales tip a little bit, right? So
that's not a joke. That's the actual age. That's so funny.
I know.
It's not a joke. It was a fact.
I know.
No. And so that's the thing. Like I think the scales do tip, but I honest to God, I don't think we get through, but I think we give them some hell. I do. So it's gonna be fun. Like this is the best part of the year now. Like knowing what you're playing for. Just the expectations is more about top 4, right? Don't worry about the 5th spot. We're getting top 4, and then I think make the FA Cup run. Go for Madrid. Period. Like why not? And let's see what happens. And then you start to just see how the team pieces itself together as we move into next year, and it's going to be fun.
Let's go. Let people know where they can find you and the things you do.
Yeah. So Casey Kevin _Cityzen on Twitter.
Cityzen, let's go. All right, we appreciate you and good luck this weekend.
See you guys.
Yeah,
have a good one.
Hope Mahomes doesn't get injured. That's all I will say.
Hey, I'm excited. First time person on to Litstream. This is nice. Asked if he could join, and he was like, "I'm through." So, Shady Gang, give it up For Alex. Yo, yo, yo.
Yeah.
Appreciate
What
you.
up? What up? What up? What up?
What's going on?
How's it going, man?
It's all
Good
right.
evening,
It's
sir.
all right. Hey, Charlie,
Yeah.
I see you with the Morehouse shirt. Shout out to a fellow alum.
Oh,
Let's
nice.
go. Oh, what year?
Oh, we got some Morehouse men in
Let's
the house.
go.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I was I should have been 2013, but I was 2014. So
Yo, we were on campus at the same time. Life is small. I'm a 2012.
swear that's fine.
Wow.
Yeah, we got to connect. We'll talk. We'll talk.
For sure.
Let's
For sure.
go. I love this. I love this.
This is great.
Sure,
This is fantastic. Happy Black History Month, everybody. Like,
Happy
just
Black
yes.
History Month. You already know.
And then what sorry, I wanted to what's up, George? Appreciate you for joining. Good to see you. You know the vibes. Okay, well, I don't want to put this on you, so I'm gonna ask, what club do you support?
I'm a United fan.
That's what I thought, but I
Yeah,
just
I'm a
never,
United
like I said,
fan.
I don't want to put that on you unless that is something that
I'm a United
you
fan
willingly
through
do.
through.
Yes.
I'm a United fan through and through. Unfortunately, we just having our few years under the sun.
Huh?
We're having our few years under the sun as far as with no sunscreen. No sunscreen at the
Under
moment.
the there we go. Okay, there we go. I was like, under the sun. That sounds like a nice little vacation, my man.
Yeah,
And then he's like,
nah,
no
nah,
sunscreen. I was like, all right, yeah.
No sunscreen.
Under that English
full
skin.
tan,
Yeah.
tan, no sunscreen.
Oh, so
Looking
y'all are
great.
like, y'all are in the promised, like searching for the promised land in the desert 40 years.
Something like that. Yeah, you could call it that.
Okay,
It's
all right.
It's a long journey of soul searching.
Amen.
You finally got away from the ex that was leading you wrong. Now you starting over complete.
You got to hit rock bottom to come up, man. You got to go down to the depths.
Exactly.
So now you can rise. Everybody loves to come back to
Exactly.
Little old United, just trying to make their way to top.
We finally sold a PlayStation 5 with no controller, so you know.
That sounds like pain. Oh my god!
Right?
Hey, y'all ever turn on a game and your controller is about to die? It is the most disheartening thing ever. You are so ready to play, you ready to lock in. That controller said, "No, I'm about to die," and this is like, damn.
Exactly.
That's United every year.
It's cool with me. I mean, I knew it was coming. So been new, ain't new to it. Been true to it. Just telling. I think many of y'all follow Nigerian scams that we pretty much. Once you get to a certain point of watching the game, now we pretty much the OGs compared to the rest of the young fans, either new or under 25, and haven't remembered such as far as with the sport itself. Not ain't just involving the prim, just.
And I don't understand how do these young kids become United fans? Like, I get history and all that, but it's just like,
I mean, you know, it's the same as far as City when y'all had y'all lean years too. It's like, damn, why become that? But then it's like, you know, it sticks.
Don't we have the success
that we have. I remember the years.
Our energy was not similar to that. Y'all were not nice. Y'all were not good people.
That I'm not denying. This is a whole utter disaster as far as with the vibes and energy as far as with the club. But again, it was coming. I mean, you know,
that's fair.
I hate it as far as with just the overall trying to find a better word of other than ineptitude, utter chaos. I guess that would be better.
So do you feel better with Amarim at least?
I like Amarim. I mean, I like the last couple hires. They just haven't worked out. But with him, and I guess just with the perfect timing as far as with Ineos, even though I do have my complaints with them too, they at least seem to be like, all right, cool. We know what the utter shit that the Glazers have pretty much left this club. So we need to completely just start over. Like completely just take the Death Star ray and just completely laser everything down and just start from the beginning. So they're giving him time. Like even with the roster currently, even with the wins they had, which is cool, but it's like I see what he's trying to do, and they need the players. And why that stuff isn't his fault as far as with he just walking into again, you coming into a storm that was already like, damn, bitch, you look like this. So everybody sings that meme. So you know, here we go.
So you just called your club Alderon.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you help every United fan never talk about City's overspending? I just want y'all to like have a factual understanding of the world.
Listen.
Like that's all I want to know. I just want to know, can y'all say like we wasted a billy?
No.
We spent a billy for nothing.
See, that's the key point I'm talking about as far as with the differences in the fandom, especially when it comes down to the youth.
Mm-hmm.
This is the nature of the sport. As for better or for worse, that's the nature of the sport. You got to spend. The difference is with City compared to us at the moment and a whole bunch of other teams, really, you make wise spending choices.
Thank you. Oh my God. No, I'm serious. Thank you, bro. That means the world.
Honestly, this is what I've enjoyed him on social media, and we've hit it off. And so like I'm actually
goddamn follow right now, my boy.
Yeah,
tap in.
Yeah.
No, you don't freely spend. And again, just coming as one as a person that's played the sport before, and two as a person that's watched it and grown up with it to this point, that's a big difference. Like again, just remembering the years as far as with the Big Six, everybody having the down years, like Liverpool, like those perfect example right there. Boom, the dark Liverpool years when they got Klopp and just completely overhauled the management. Like dealing with those are like some grim times for Liverpool. And I'm looking at that, comparing it to United again, even though we're a different animal within itself, because that completely just started from the Glazers just taking over from the whole Alex Ferguson horse deal, which was again
yes
the pettiest shit. Just the pettiest shit.
That's where pride comes into, ego comes into that. Every man's
oh my gosh.
A longer story within that too. You make the moves, you have the proper oversight. It's like, all right, let's do this. Let's think about this. Let's go with that. Like people try to throw it as far as with City, for example, like, oh man, you guys spent so much money in this, that, and third. It's like, all right, cool, but they have the proper infrastructure and direction. Like even with Pep, they don't want him to go overboard with that. Pep also has the mind of patience. It's like proper oversight to say, maybe we could do this, or maybe we could pivot to this direction. If we do have the cash, fine. If we don't, let's take it another option that's just as smart, and then properly utilize it into the proper other directions or other channels. That's what makes a great club. Like City have the continuity that they had for so long, and then coming to us where the whole structure was just spend, because it was essentially a vanity project for the Glazers. This is the calamity that you have with them. It's like, you watching the Looney Tunes episode where, like, hey, man, here's Wile E. Coyote trying to go after Roadrunner, and it's like, boom, the Acme gadget blows up in his face again. But unlike Wile E. Coyote learning from that, you keep doing that for every single damn episode for 25 years.
So, did you just call the FA the Acme Company?
Yes.
I think he did.
Okay.
Hey,
I just want to make
I need you to clip this, bro. This is top tier. This is that shit. This is that's what gets viral on TikTok,
44,
and then you just like, all right, cool.
Leave it to a Morehouse man to tell it how it is. God damn it! There we go.
You get used to it. So I'm like, I'm just looking at the fans like, all right, this was coming. It's like, yeah, it sucks and it's fucking painful, but it's like, take it on the chin. This is our moment. It is what it is. Like, it's here.
Go for it.
How you feel about Rash leaving? How did that hit you?
Yeah,
it hit when I finally saw the picture, so I'm like, damn, this ain't right. And another thing with him, as far as with, I'm not sure about his personal issues. I do hear the rumors. I'm not sure. So I do want him to get that. And I do want him to get that settled, because when he's on, he is a top player, but I haven't the inconsistency from him has been unfortunate. But again, going back into the disasters of United compared to a lot of his predecessors, where he's 27 now and coming in 18, he had the proper players in front of him, like a Rooney or the elder vets there to guide him into that. Now he is at that point. And when you have a club that's in dire straits with nobody around to give you the proper guidance to direct you, or so he can be the elder statesman to the other players like Kobe and everybody else on the team, this is what happens. And it sucks. I haven't liked the constant bash of him from the publication. A lot of that is directed from the club too, just because they want to get off the money from him. And you got to talk about the big elephant in the room, racism with that too, because it hasn't just happened to him. I could go down the list as far as with, Lingard, Pogba especially, and that's just within the last, exactly. And that's just within the last 8 years for those, like Martial. And it's painful to talk about with that because you see it happening and it's like, but Rashford hasn't made it easier on himself either. So that's the unfortunate part. So, but I am hoping that he does well at Villa. I think they seems to be with him signed, and I think somebody else signed too. Sensio, there we go. It just popped into me as soon as you said it too. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a reclamation project for a lot of people over there. So that's good. I'm happy for him. So
he's had like what 5 managers, and that's right. Unsustainable. It's something like 4 or 5, right? Like that's stupid. Whereas Foden only knows Pep, Trent only knew Klopp, and now Slot. Saka's only known Arteta. Like stability matters in development. Carlo has only had Vinny. Vinny only knows him. Like that's it. Like I don't know, and maybe Zidane when he first started, right? But like, if you have 4 or 5 different styles of play, like who can you really become? Because you're always switching. There's always uncertainty. I root for black men. I tell people all the time, I only want black men to fail when they play City. Like when you play City, like Chelsea did, have the worst week, have the worst match possible, and then go ball out the next week. You deserve. But like, it sucks to see somebody who he did so much for Britain. That man, like at 22, 23, had the whole campaign and was out here taking care of people when the government wasn't back then.
Still is too.
Like still doing work. So it's like he should be somewhere where he can ball out. I'm just happy that it's not United anymore because now I can openly. I root for Villa. I like Villa. I like Unai. I like all those boys.
Me too.
Broke Arsenal, who didn't want to buy Watkins. That's terrible. The Crunkies fucked Arsenal. But yeah, like he deserves good things, and I hope that Villa finishes 1 spot below City. That's all I got.
That's fair. Yeah, I got no problem with it. So yeah, I'm rooting for him too. I root for everybody from United that's trying to get out of except for let's say Anthony. So
yeah,
I'll pump the brakes on that part. But yeah, I'm rooting
terms and conditions do apply.
Right. I'll pump the brakes on that one. But yeah, Rash, yeah, always my man. I hope he gets straight. Get back healthy. Another thing I kind of don't like about what's going on now, that's just the sport as a whole, is man, these guys need a break. And I'm seeing it with, and I've been saying it for a while, but it's like it's really coming to a head this year. And especially looking at City too with the injury pile up, I'm like, damn. Like since the lockdown, I want to say they've played the equivalent of like 7 seasons in 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, and that ain't that's not healthy. And I know Rodriguez said that too. As far as with, it just isn't made for, the human body isn't made for the amount of pressure and amount of hours they've had all playing footy within the last 5 years coming out of lockdown. And it's like, what are we signaling to these players? They're essentially mules.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna hurt the game more than anything. And I definitely feel like a strike is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then they would need because
Pep, he talked about it all last year, and he talked about it at the beginning of the season, and I'm pretty sure someone came in and was like, you got to stop talking about the players striking because that's not good for money. We do not want the players striking. But I'm with you. I also think that that's why we don't have real ballers anymore because like we know this in U.S. sports. People go away for a summer, come back, and all of a sudden they got a new tool that they got. And we can't, these footballers, they don't have it. The only time they get off is like the 3 or 4 weeks that hopefully a manager gives the players once the season begins because they just finished playing some other competition that happened. And
or injury time.
they're injured and they can't play because I mean,
and that's recovery, and that's like a whole different stress on the body,
Right.
and mind.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough, and
it's definitely coming to it. It's definitely coming to a head within like maybe this year or definitely in the next 3 years. Like it's just not sustainable. Like I'm looking at players' face and they look drained, and then it's just not healthy.
Yeah, I'm with you. Oh man. Okay, well, this was such like a positive conversation about City and United, really, and so it's like where do we even go with this? Like, okay, so let's say best case scenario, United's reclamation project, it's going as well as it can. You know, the new stadium, it's beautiful. There's no waterfall fixture. You're bringing in the right players. You keep a manager longer than 4 or 5 years. When like Amarim is still here, 2028.
Yeah, I was about to say let's mark it there.
So that's where you can say we should be legitimately back and winning titles.
Yeah, I think so. Unless you get like extremely lucky as far as with the next, I would say the next 2 player cycles as far as with who you want and who's leaving. I think so. But if those player cycles definitely hit, then that'll obviously speed things up. Obviously, you can't account for stadium buildup, and that'll take time within itself. And judging from the economic disaster that we're unfortunately in with administration, and I guess that it's going to seem to affect things globally. We'll see on that. But yeah, I would think at least 2028 that would signify something as far as with positive change, and I think that'll be the last little bit of
3 years.
I would think the last little bit of the Glazer family residue or whatever they were doing would slowly dissipate to you got what you want to do with Ineos, and they have a clear vision now, but that'll finally start to form as far as with what they want to do.
I just want to say this as an exercise to all United fans or any club, go to the transfer market, right? And when you can start to see when players' salaries come off the books, it gives you so much hope. Because you can line up, like most clubs haven't lined up to where there's a summer where like all your contracts are off, and it's like, oh, we get to get rid of. I'm not mad at him. I'm not joking. I'm seriously like Harry Maguire comes off the books, X player comes off the books. Like you can see, okay, now we're gonna make this move, and it's like Arsenal said it was a project, and it really was a project. They had the 2 8th place finishes, and now like they're almost a staple for top 4, right? They're not gonna win it, we know that, but they're going to be top 4, which is literally the goal in Premier League. And so, like, again, I don't want anything good for United. I don't want y'all to win a trophy again. And if you got to be like, hey, we're going to be top 4, there is a route to do it. And I think sticking through the hard part is the hardest part for United, because you can't tell me that – I saw that graphic was like the 3 managers that left United are like first, second, and third in their league. Right, like that. Oh no, that was Spurs. Sorry, but United has also done some shit too, where it's like you get rid of managers who know what they're doing, and then it's like, nope, we just gonna like figure it out. So like, stick with Amarim, let him figure it out, because he embarrassed City. That man gave us a humbling of all humblings. So like, he knows how to coach football, and he did that with no budget. So like, I hope y'all like don't get cold feet and just let that man cook.
I think so. I like what he did at Sporting, and coming from that, just unfortunate stuff. That was a whole bunch of people leaving the books just because of the disaster that was before he got there. That gave me hope, and I have been watching Sporting. Sporting is a great club. During his time over there, they were a lot of fun to watch. So I like him. I like what he's trying to do. He's definitely trying to lay the law down as far as with the players and what he wants from them. Like I think with I want to say the Liverpool win, they were all kind of like when we end up winning that, it was like, okay, why the hell y'all haven't been doing that the whole time since I've been here, or even before then? It's like
I would hate
there's
that.
something there. I think the players do seem to want to play for him compared to other players. I mean, other people too. Like I think with Ten Hag, it was kind of like we want to try, but it's like, damn, this shit is kind of draining. That last little bit, it's kind of like it was definitely showing in his face. He definitely got like extra bald, so that's one thing. Compared to Amrin now, and I guess just with rose-colored glasses, he's still kind of fresh. Uh, the luster hasn't worn off yet, and they actually do want to see to like, all right, they actually get the idea of wanting to play for him. Like I said, I mean, everybody has went through this as far as with utter ineptitude and just completely disaster.
Yeah,
it's just United times. It's cool. Like the biggest thing for I want fans to do is it's gonna get ugly. Like if it hasn't gotten uglier, so just take it on the chin. It sucks, but hey, it could be worse. I can trust it. It can legitimately be worse.
You're right. Well, how do you feel about the match tomorrow against Leicester City? We'll get you out of here with this. You winning? You making it? Going to the next round?
I think they'll go. It'll probably be like some. The unfortunate part with losing Rashford is like, even though he was off, now they really don't have an offensive guy to start the offense. It's kind of like we'll pick and choose how to go from there. So that'll be interesting. I think they can. They'll probably beat Leicester, and it'll probably be like one of them late minute goals, of course. From who I don't know. So that'll be interesting. Losing Lissandro sucks though. That sucks. So now
that was tough.
Now I'm trying to figure out how's the foundation of the defense gonna start, because I know Maguire's gonna be back there, but like the rest is kind of like.
Is Luke Shaw gonna kick a ball again, or is he done?
I think he just had a setback. Yeah. So
he white MB, dog. He's white MB. That man said, "Hey, I'm done. I ain't got it."
But even as much as I hate that Luke has happened to him, it's a miracle that he even came back from the injury that kicked off everything. So I'm the least happy for him to even having a career at this point. That he was looking at amputation at one point. So yeah, it's a miracle he's even back.
Okay, I know that.
I will then hold my joke that I was going to tell, because it was not a real.
I mean,
I was just going to say, like, I was like, oh, did he have a setback in his BBL surgery?
See, yeah, but yeah, I'm happy for him. So we'll see what's up. I think they can do it though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for coming on. Please plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
Right now I'm actually doing, because y'all had called me earlier. I actually just got done with some homework for my dissertation, so I'm working with that right now. That's pretty much taking the majority of my time. But y'all can find me anywhere. I'm pretty active on social media. I know I'm on Blue Sky. Is the M Series 1. Same for Twitter. Actually, on Twitter, I am the M Series 2, because the site is breaking down, and somebody unfortunately hacked my main account, so I'm on my backup there. I game, so I'm on PlayStation Network. I think I am. And what's the hell my name? I just forgot it. That's fast. Damn. Oh, Zorda on the trap. So yes.
Let's go.
Legendary. I love it.
Love that.
So, yeah, so
Love that.
I'm on there too. So yeah, just find me anywhere. I'm usually keep it casual. Make sure. Oh wait, nah. My name is the New God Hour. I take that back. That was my old name. I forgot I switched it. But yes, the New God Hour on PlayStation Network. Yeah, I'm usually pretty casual, trying to make this stuff work as far as with everybody. Keep it humble, just keep it real chill. Just don't be disrespectful to each other and me, and we won't have any problems. And that's
There it
pretty
is.
much. I know everybody's going through a lot right now, especially here if you're an American. Judging from our current administration or whatever the fuck they are, we're gonna make it. The revolution will not be televised. Keep yourselves humble, straight. Always stay 2 steps ahead of within yourself and each other, and please lend a hand to your fellow man and woman, and we'll get through it for sure.
I love that. That's a Morehouse motherfucker right there.
Right.
There we go. That's what we do. I'm gonna
Right,
hit you in the DM, bro. We're gonna
For
connect.
sure.
Hey, love that. All right, see you, brother.
Yes.
All right.
Peace.
Let's go. Hey, and now LA stand up. Very excited to have him back on. Matthew,
Yes.
Comets SC. How's it going, my friend?
Yes.
We got the audio. You on mute? Or
Mute.
I was about to say that shirt is fire too.
I know. I feel like it's always audio. Something's going on. Always tech issues.
All right, so he's muted. Now come off mute. Let's see. Hello.
Mm-mm. No.
No.
Damn. Take the headphones out. Maybe I don't know. I want this to work. I might be going through it.
Love technology. Dun, dun, dun. Oh.
I
No.
heard something. Damn. Nah.
How about that?
Yay!
Hey, we got it. All right.
Yeah, the headphones have a mic, so I guess it gets confused with the computer's mic and stuff.
Got
That
it.
might be it.
So,
Well, how are you? Good to see you.
hey, I'm in great spirits, man. We got that number 6. You know how that is. I feel bad because, like, I'm up. You guys are a little, by your standards, not flying so high. But I'm. What can I say? I'm in a good mood, man.
Nothing wrong with
You
that.
deserve all the joy,
Yes.
bro. You deserve all
Yes.
that. Yeah, especially for what LA has gone through in 2025. LA should have every bit of joy ever, man.
Yeah, man. And we had a solid year last year, but yeah, we started out this year pretty rough, as you can see, as you can imagine. But
Yeah.
but no, for the fan base, because it was like a long drought, and it's especially being like an older club, and it's funny how your last guest was a United fan. It's like you don't know that you're going to return to glory, or you don't know that you're going to return to glory in your lifetime. Even it's not taken for granted, right? So yeah, to see the club bounce back and to win again it feels nice, man. It feels really good.
Especially in a league like MLS where like the variance between the team, like there's built-in parity with like the salary cap and like how it being a single entity structure. Like they definitely want to basically have their cake and eat it too, because they want clubs, like LA Galaxy, like DC United, who have like those traditional number of like league titles, and they also want like those traditional powers as well as like parity within their league. So like it's far different from any other league like that we follow in Europe.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a challenge too, because last time we won a championship, it was like our 3rd in 4 years or something like that. And we had been into like 4 finals in 6 years. And nowadays it's really hard to achieve that, So you'll see there's a lot more turnover. And even for us, like we had our final MVP, we like cut him, but like 2 weeks later, right? To make room in the salary cap. Like we had a great striker that we just had to kind of move on. That we
tell me about Dejan, because apparently I'm going to be watching him here.
Yeah, that's right. What I could tell you for sure is you're getting a good player, man. It's funny, he's a chess player. I guess he's like a really highly ranked chess player and stuff. But you can see that like the way he reads the game, the way he does stuff. Like there was this goal he had in the final where he's kind of like drifting to his left, and then he like kicks it with his right. Like he's trying to set it up with his left, and he totally like fake. So he's a real he's just like a real kind of fox in the box, real clever guy. He has like, you see that in older strikers a lot, like they just have that knack of where to be, but he's got that as a young guy, which is really, rare to see. His intelligence, his kind of the way he sees things. So yeah, it's a big loss, man. He's a fan favorite too, a real cool dude. So and yeah, so it's tough to see him go, especially to, he's gonna come play us at least a couple times next season.
Yeah, at least twice. You're gonna see him at least twice. Like
yeah. So it's rough, man. But that's how it is, man. That's how the league is. Like you said, the parity and that. So we'll see. We'll see if Will Coots, he's our GM that's been making a lot of like the big moves. We'll see if he can keep us competitive. Because that's the trick, right? Is you're losing these big pieces. Can you bring in guys to kind of toe the line while you do that?
Can he though? I mean, how good are you feeling about LA's chances this season?
It's interesting, man. I think, as always, it kind of depends on what other people are doing. So, like California right now, because you have Arena moved to San Jose, so they'll probably be pretty good. They're tooling up. LAFC, is gonna tool up. San Diego's in the league now. And you see some of the players coming in, and it's super competitive, right? So it's like a lot of teams, like kind of like I was saying, a lot of teams that maybe like LAFC had made it to the final in 2023, I guess, right? And so 2024 was a little bit of like a rebuilding year for them. Same with like RSL. So same with like Seattle, I should say. So some of those teams that like needed that year to rebuild, they're going to come back pretty strong. And this might be our kind of rebuilding year. It's kind of crazy to say that in a year like after you just won a championship, but kind of MLS forces that on you, right? So yeah, it'll be interesting, man. I think it'll be very competitive, but I'm pretty optimistic,
So Matthew, with a league the size of MLS, it reminds me of the NFL, right? There's just so many clubs. You're just trying to get through. We talk about the parity. Do you expect as a fan or supporter to dominate for multiple years? Like, what's your expectation as a supporter of the club? Like, what's a great year for you next season?
Yeah, I think the cool thing too is there's a lot of competitions, right? So I think that's kind of the nice thing with MLS. You have Open Cup, so I think we're back in Open Cup this year. More teams are in. I know there was a big controversy with Open Cup, and a lot of MLS was not wanting to be in it. So like LAFC, for example, they didn't really hit their standards as far as maybe where they want to go in the playoffs and in the league, but they won the Open Cup last year. So if you're fans, that's nothing to sneeze at. And then you also have the
Peter Vermees saved his job because he had a deep run in the Open Cup.
Absolutely. So I think if you're a Galaxy fan, and our mentality is, it's funny because like, again, you guys will relate to this. There's few fan bases that can, but like we get greedy fast because we're like, man, remember we used to talk, we used to rep like the 5 stars. Now, like right after we won the 6, I'm like, oh, 5 stars is ghetto. That's kind of, I can't really we're all hyped about that. Like we need at least 2 or 3 more. So like if you ask a Galaxy fan, yeah, totally. So if you ask a Galaxy fan, like we want to have a dynasty, we want to get a couple back to back. But I think if we make it a deep run or pick up some championship, I think they have like, what is it, like the Campeones Cup, which is just like one final play between like, the MLS champion and the Liga MX champion. So we win that, you get a title, So there's a couple of just by winning, and then we're back in Champions League and that. So there's a couple of different competitions we could do well in, and since we win a title, even if MLS Cup isn't in the cards.
But so I'm trying to figure out the club I like, and I went for Fire. They didn't. Again, they gave me a wild response, sassy. They gave me a Twitter response on Blue Sky. I didn't enjoy that. And then I'm gonna be honest, I got like a real sassy email back from them too, because it's like someone reaching out, being like, "Hey, if you're interested in coming to some games, let me know." But I don't know. I just thought it was like emails that they send to everybody, so I didn't respond. But today I got a response, and they were just like, "Hey, I haven't heard from you. Usually, if someone doesn't respond, it's because the life is too busy or something like that. I'm just trying to like check in with you." And like even the caption was like, "Am I taking this wrong?" or some. It was weird, and I was just like, "No, bro. I just thought you were a robot. I didn't think you were an actual human being reaching out to me. Like, this is nice, but you don't have to be so like passive aggressive about it. Like, this is why people don't like you, Chicago Fire. You guys just like are so awkward. Like, I like 1 second you're trying too hard, the next second you don't give a fuck. Like, I need consistency somewhere. Like,
Right.
do you care? Like, do you care? Like, if you do, then let me know and let's build from there. But like, I don't know. You're hot and you're cold. I don't like it.
That franchise changed their logo a whole bunch of times, like in like what was it, like 3 changes within like 5 years. Like consistency, that is not a thing. Like you ask Jake and Phil about that. Like they'll tell you that.
I know.
The only consistent thing is like they lose.
They're in Chicago, so they have to take it. Like they're there. Like what else are you? Who else are you gonna root for? Me? I don't have to do that. I'm not putting up with that shit. So I'm setting boundaries immediately. That's what I'm doing. It's just like I don't like this. Please change this. If you want my fandom,
they should be coming hat in hand to fans that are not really out in that market. And I think like Chicago's like logo troubles kind of sums up that franchise in a way, because it's like they came up with this really bad logo that everyone knew was bad, right? And instead of like taking the L, they like doubled down, like, nah, this is the logo. It's gonna grow on you guys, you know. And it obviously didn't, right? Like you know, they should have just been like, oh, you know, it's like the Sonic movie or something. Like, you know what, you guys, you saved us, pulled us back from the brink. You know, let's take it back to the drawing board. But yeah, I think that sums up Chicago. Obviously, they're a major metro area. You all want to see Chicago be competitive. And like I said, they'll take like 2 or 3 steps and then like shoot themselves in the foot. I can't remember who it was. Like it was a while ago, but they brought in like you know, they were bringing in like Schweinsteiger and some of those guys. Like Shaqiri, right? Yeah. And then they'll get like a garbage coach and stuff. So it's like it's weird.
Nah,
you know.
I'm respectfully. Again, I'm saying respectfully as many times as I can. Bro was loving that Chicago restaurant lifestyle there. Bro was having the best time.
When we met up in Chicago, we went to that Chicago Fire match. That man checked himself. Like he said, nah. It was like, what was it? Like 27 minutes? Like
yes.
End of the match was like, nah, you got to come get me, bro.
Just walk off.
I never saw it because I knew it was too cold to go watch the Chicago Fire play soccer, and I was like, nope, not worth my time, not worth my cold.
Listen, the look on Charlie's face, like I saw the decision, like because him and Tarek looked at each other, and I saw the decision that they made simultaneously. Like, nope, it's not gonna happen.
We got something else to do. To go see Chicago Fire. Like
it's too cold for this. It's too cold.
I know we bought the ticket.
I would have needed triple espresso on the pitch for me to stay outside. Okay, it would have needed to be a US WNMT match for me to be like, you know what, I'm gonna brave this cold for some good soccer. Don't give me no mid. That's the thing about being in certain areas. You can't be putting out mid or below mid. You can't be giving out that Reggie Foden and out here just, you know, expecting people to be happy watching losers. When you in California, at least the weather's good. You can't be out here in the cold in the Midwest being like, ooh, this is going to be fun. Come on out. No, I don't want to go to Soldier Field. No.
It's facts. I say that too. Like we're privileged in a way because it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I always joke like we're actually just a good team. Like because we went undefeated at home, and I'm like, we just have to be good. Like we have to be a good team because like LA is a great place to play. Like it's not too hot, it's not too cold. Especially like a part of LA we're at is like close to the beach and stuff. It's like every other team, especially like the Western Conference, like a hellhole. So you have to go to Salt Lake, which is at altitude. Colorado's at altitude. Houston is just nightmarish. It's like humid and hot. Seattle
Like,
is
have
on
you ever
turf.
tried to try playing any sport in Houston in August?
Yeah. We had a player like straight up come off the field and like vomit during a Houston match, no joke. And he went our right back in our last time we won the championship back in 2014. He just came off the field and like let it go, and he had to come back. But yeah, so it's funny because I'm like, every other place is just hard to play because the environment. It's like the old Mutant League games on Genesis. It's like it's just hard to play there. It's like the team doesn't have to be good. Houston's gonna be terrible to play no matter what because it's just a hellish place to play. Like we actually just have to defend our turf. It's nice. People want to play in LA. It's like we actually just have to be good and defend our turf. Like everywhere else is just like there's some kind of crazy handicap that every other stadium has. You know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm like looking this up. I was like, bro, Mutant League, this is hitting. That's later.
Yeah, I remember that. It was like that's like how Seattle is. It's like you step in a pit and like break your ankles. We've had so many players like get injured up there and stuff. So yeah, it's like every stadium besides ours has like some kind of crazy like level.
Portland's challenge. Another one. Like that turf in Portland is terrible.
Yeah. Like Vancouver's
How you
not
feeling
bad.
about the new calendar, Matthew?
Say again, I'm sorry.
How are you feeling about the new calendar that Don Garber said, like, to compete against all the other leagues? And, like, I think it's, like, a classic August to May calendar now, like, next season or whatever, season after next. How you feeling about that?
It's interesting, man. I was just talking about some folks in the club about it. And I think, and again, if you're from one of those markets like Chicago, it's probably more impactful there, right, than maybe it is for us, perhaps. I think it's nice that you do have finally like that alignment with the FIBA calendar and like especially for the summer tournaments, because we'd always lose players during that, and that's like crunch time for MLS. It's a very critical kind of time. So I like seeing that. Something that a lot of people that support MLS clubs have maybe wanted to see for a while, and there's maybe some practical reasons to resist it. A lot of it, again, because playing in some climates through the winter, it'll
play it. There's no way that MLS can play night matches in Minnesota in January. It just cannot happen. Like that is like MLS Players Association will say no. It's too damn cold.
Right. So I'm curious how they intend to solve some of those issues if they'll have like a break, kind of like some of the European leagues do.
Yeah, like Germany.
I don't know.
All the matches below the Mason-Dixon
right
until February, until March. Like
honestly,
you're on the road forever.
I could see something like that happening. They've done stuff like that before, so I could see them having like, you got to fly down to KC.
Don't the Bulls do it every single year because of Barnum and Bailey?
The Bulls trip, the Lakers Grammy trip, the rodeo trip in San Antonio. Like, you have those games, those seasons, those leagues where it's like, hey, we are just gonna be away for X amount of time. And if it's with footy, with soccer, it's like weekly, right? So like, hey, for this month in February and January, no home games, but we got y'all in March and April. The schedule can balance. It'll be above freezing.
Maybe
God bless them.
Maybe
like hopefully. Prayerfully, global warming will help the MLS. That's all I'm saying. That's the MLS best friend right now. That's what Don Garber and them said in those billion-dollar boardrooms. Global warming is our friend, y'all. It's gonna go up 1 degree every year. We good. We cooking. They can't stop it.
Literally, we're cooking.
Hey, we are so fucked. This is a very existential conversation. We are fucked. Oh my God. Will I ever have grandchildren? I don't know. Will we have the world? I don't know. Will it be a Charlie the 7th? I don't fucking know.
Oh my gosh. No. Okay. Well, we want to get you out of here, but before we do, we definitely got to talk about the Black History League draft.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're y'all be starting it up again this year. So I've moved like completely to Blue Sky, which doesn't have as much traction as that other app. But so yeah, I'm thinking of a couple ways to do it, but I'll keep y'all posted. Y'all were the champs last time, which was pretty nice. So you gotta hold it down, see if you can repeat. But yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. For folks that don't know, we basically did with all the different supporters groups, Black supporters groups, the content creators around Twitter. I think we started on Twitter. And we kind of just did like a snake draft. We went through and basically you had to pick. You can only pick Black players throughout history, but they could be Black from any country. In that, anyone from history active today. Going back, and we basically had to form teams. So it was our first time doing it. We had we figured some things out along the way, right?
Yeah.
But so I think we ended up doing like a 5-a-side, and we just kind of
Brazo.
that was a conversation. We had some fun conversations in there. Well, and by we, I mean I just watched the conversations be had, and I was just like, points are being made. Points are being made.
Hey, if you were affected by the slave trade, you are Black. That's all I'm saying. If the slave trade came to your port, one drop rule, you're Black.
That was my thing. Is like there was like the 2 or 3 people like that weren't on board with the concept at the beginning. They're like, well, what do you mean by Black exactly?
I know. It was like, what are we doing?
Like why are we defining Blackness in Black History Month? Like,
get somebody, bro.
Diaspora.
Right.
All of us. All of that.
All of that.
We're not Argentina, okay? We didn't get rid of them all.
Oh,
sorry, that was too much. My bad.
Sorry.
No,
it was great.
So that's the main idea. Obviously, it's for fun. It's to kind of for vibes. We had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, we'll do it again this year. I'm gonna try to maybe do it through Discord, and then we can publish on Blue Sky and that. But yeah, I'll keep y'all posted. We had a lot of fun last time.
Trust me. We have some fun on Blue Sky. We're slowly but surely getting more and more. Yep. Honestly, you just have to post a little bit more. We're once people will start recognizing the thing, and that's what I'm saying. I think not most of the people, a good chunk of the people who were a part of it last year who helped it move forward are on Blue Sky. So I feel like once we get a couple rounds going, the vibes will percolate.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll get it going. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm hoping to win this time, though.
We got 22 days, y'all. We got 22 days. Let's
so
I know, right?
They don't care about us. Shortest month of the year. This is all Black people in America. Take the shortest goddamn month and do what you got to do. So for me, Black History Month goes until March 3rd. I'm getting a full 31 days. I don't care. Give me
that's how the draft was. I think we're still drafting well into March. We're like, hey, we're taking March 2.
Just like, why are you guys taking like a week?
Black History always. Black History 365. Black History into March. We gonna,
you know what?
We gonna own
next.
That's what we
you know
do.
what? Next year we'll just go into January. Remember, Charlie, because you said that January was the longest month ever. We'll just start like the last week of January.
Oh my God.
Honestly, we should do it on the 31st.
January 28th. We should start January 28th and go to February 28th. Give us a full month.
Boom.
Fuck them. There you go. Boom. Early kickoff.
Boom.
We ain't gotta wait for it. We're gonna break all the stereotypes. We're gonna show up early. That's what we're gonna do. Show up early.
There we go.
Here.
Boom. You ain't ready for that shit.
They gonna be fucked up in 2026. Wait, they started in January 28th? Yes, we did. We ready. We turned up.
I'm down. Just all of us just starts changing our logos and saying Happy Black History Month.
Right.
Wait, wait a minute.
They don't know what's going on.
If Doge can come in and fuck up the funding for U.S. aid, we can do whatever the fuck we want to do. We out here, bro.
That.
No rules.
Oh,
it's gonna be like Christmas. You know how Christmas gets earlier and earlier every year? We're gonna do that with Black History Month.
God damn it.
At some point, it's like January 6th. All right, let's get the...
Yes!
That's gonna be a national holiday under Trump. They're gonna make 1/6 a national holiday for the Patriots that fell at the Capitol. Watch. I swear on everything I love.
I wouldn't be surprised.
2027, we're gonna see a holiday for January 6th in some state. They celebrate Robert E. Lee in Alabama, dog. I'm telling you, it's coming. It is coming.
We saved all the lit stream until the end.
I'm just saying, y'all gotta watch the end to get all the good shit.
My God.
I got the second 8% in me. We good.
Oh my
we gotta
God.
claim it. We gotta claim it first.
I love it though. I love it. Please, Matt, plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're on Blue Sky, Comets SC. I don't even know at Blue Sky. I guess I gotta do my whole pitch for. I'm not even used to it now. But yeah, it's Comets SC at Blue Sky, and then we're on Instagram at Black Galaxy Fans on there, and that's it for now until we expand to some other platforms and that. But yeah, then of course you'll catch us on LA Galaxy Game Days. Going hard.
Let's go. Well, appreciate you for coming on. Have a good rest of your evening.
Much.
Yes, so thanks for having me. It's always good.
Of course.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Oh, oops. Okay. Whew. That was a lot of laughing in a short burst. My stomach.
He's like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
I really wasn't.
You got that good
January
core strength
28th,
exercise.
2026. We turn it up.
Oh,
You got that core strength exercise.
Right. I'm super excited about next weekend. We got the noisy boys, noisy neighbors coming through the house. I think both of them. We're gonna bring both the chaos. And so,
man,
that's gonna be crazy.
Oh man, right?
So be prepared for them to basically just take over the show, because I'm pretty sure that's what they did
Texas
last
two-step.
time.
I can't wait.
Right?
Oh, I love this. And then we got Keenan Pearson, a little Arsenal, some Gunners. It's double red because then we got Sunshine. She hasn't been around for a while, so it'll be good to link that up.
Yeah, all right.
That was the Curva Mundial. The episode was fire with Sunshine. That was the Curva Mundial.
It was great.
Yeah.
All right. Seeing this.
Dog, it is so possible. Don't put anything past white men. Anything is possible with white men. That's what I'm saying. It's America. I teach it. I teach it every day. They do whatever the fuck they want. I'm just saying.
That's facts. My show bros, let people know where they want to let people know where to find you and the things that you do. There we go.
You can find me on any social any social network, media network that I participate on. My name is TomBomb816. It's in the little thing on the screen if you're watching.
All right, so I'm gonna get real serious for a moment because I am a Morehouse man, and so is MLK, and it's Black History Month. Kaki go away. I want to read this quote from MLK. He said in 1963, in the letter from Birmingham jail, "I have been gravely disappointed with the white moderate. The Negro's great stumbling block in his stride toward freedom is not the Ku Klux Klaner, but the white moderate, who is more devoted to order than justice. Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. So please don't be that person that's in the white moderate. Support people that are right. Be out here advocating for people doing Black History Month. Be out here advocating for Black, brown, LGBTQ plus IA people. Support those that are in the minority, because we know Trump and those fucking buffoons of MAGA won't. Love y'all.
Love you too. We'll see you all very soon. You know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.